Acción, tu revista de cine. Cada mes, toda la actualidad en cine, entrevistas, películas de estreno, fichas y reportajes coleccionables de actores, películas clásicas y series de televisión. Este mes, especial Superman y pósters de El Hombre de Acero, Monstruos University, Lobezno Inmortal y Smallville. Ya en tu kiosco.
Panama Jack.
Well, Henry, pleasure to be here with you. Now, you must be called Henry Cavill, isn't it?
Very funny.
Well, yeah.
The joke's been made before, and it's quite a cool joke. It's
Yeah,
good.
you have to get up it. Well, this is the magazine I work for it.
Okay.
Action, you're the main front. In my opinion, I am a fan of Superman since I was a child, and at last, I think that this is the movie. So, thank you for being part of the mythology, Kryptonian mythology.
Pleasure.
And I think that's the way Lois Lane should feel. So, I live in Madrid. My favorite book is The Count of Monte Cristo, and now my favorite hero is Superman. So, what's your next surprise to me?
My next surprise? I don't know. I guess it's the great thing about surprises, is that they surprise you. But yeah, I can't tell you what you'll be surprised by next. Unfortunately, I cannot read the future.
No, not yet.
No, not yet.
Not yet.
Might be my next role.
Well, what does it mean for you to try to convince people that this is the main movie of Superman, of the Man of Steel?
What do we do? Sorry, what's the question?
What does it mean for you trying to convince that this is the final movie?
What does it mean to me? Well, we didn't try and do anything different from previous live action. What we did was, and I'm as far as I understand it, Christopher Nolan and David Goyer, when they started creating this story during some writer's block moments on The Dark Knight, they said, let's imagine like it's never happened before. This is the first live action ever of Superman. And so they went straight to the comic books, and it wasn't like they were trying to be different. I think they just drew straight from the source material, as opposed to trying to imitate anything else. And so it's been 35 years since we've had an origin story, and it's great to finally have another one for kids who are growing up now. I mean, if kids watch a movie which is 35 years old, they're not going to enjoy it as much as the modern version of the movie. And so I think it's just wonderful for this new generation to experience this.
We can see action, and action that is what we deserve, Superman fans, what we expected for it. So how do you prepare? Not to gain muscle, but the action scenes, just to fight.
The action scenes, well, we had Damon Caro, our stunt coordinator, who worked very hard on putting all this fight stuff together, and he actually almost created a new martial art, or a different style of fighting, certainly, for the Kryptonians, which didn't exist on Earth. And it was, I mean, the fight stuff is interesting because for something like Immortals, when I trained very, very hard and learned very complex fight sequences, this was only, although the sequences were quite complex, or they certainly moved in a certain way, and there was a number of moves in them, they didn't want me to look like I could fight, because Superman's a brawler. He's never been in a real fight in his life. So he's never thrown a punch. And so the first time him throwing punches is, he's just using brute force, and so I had to change my style to look less like I fought before. And also, with the fight stuff, there's so much in the way of superpowered stuff involved that we do 3 moves and then stop, and then shoot 3 moves again, stop, and then we go, okay, cool, let's move all the way over here. And then because I would get smashed into the side of a building, it's a 3 moves, bang, move over there, and then it's starting from me getting up. And so it wasn't learning complex choreography. It was 3 moves at a time, which is very, very easy in comparison to the stuff I've done previously. And it was just a lot of fun and very different.
Yeah, and try to fight on air, just flying.
Yes, that's a different kind of thing with wires and everything, and on green screen and on boxes, and all sorts of movie tricks were done there, and I thought they all did an amazing job.
For the first time, Superman as a name is not as important as the movie is. For the first time, Kal-El gets the importance. How do you think people will take this?
Well, this is an origin story, and so why would we call him Superman? I mean, before he has even existed in the world, he's not going to walk around saying, hey, my name's Superman, by the way. His name is Clark. And just people name him Superman when he reveals himself and they realize he's on their side and there's a support there, and it's, you know, like a sort of newspaper headline type thing. But I think it's necessary rather than just accepting the fact that he's called Superman. I mean, it seems kind of odd. I mean, why would an alien suddenly call himself Superman? And if he did, why would we trust him? You know?
Yeah, well, I got Kal-El tattoo on my heart in Krypton, so this is a good idea for the first time.
Cool.
And this is a question that you have answered a lot of times, I think, but what's your first impression when you're called and you say, hey, you are Kal-El?
Was it my first impression? I wasn't prepared for yes. I was totally prepared for no, because that's kind of standard procedure when it comes to acting. You get told no all the time, and I thought, I've been told no before, and, you know, I'll be ready for no this time, and I got told yes, and I just wasn't expecting it. I didn't know how to feel. It's like 45 minutes of sitting very quietly by myself, just working out what was going on in my head, and it was a very bizarre and strange experience, but a wonderful one.
I don't know if you have enough time to read so many books or comics or Superman.
I tried very hard to do as much source material research as I could, which are all the comic books, and as soon as I got the role, I ordered as much as I could, and I got the DC Comics app as well, and just read as much as I could on my iPad, and and yeah, just really delved in there. I mean, I couldn't name every single one that I read, but I just tried to get as much covered as possible.
You had to choose the most impressive for you?
Not the most impressive. What I wanted to do was I wanted to find a baseline for the character, something which was similar across all the different comic books. And although for those people who have grown up reading them, they'd know what the baseline is, but I thought I knew what the baseline was, but I didn't want to get it wrong. I wanted to get all the details correct. And so I just read through a whole bunch of stuff, and the ones which showed me all the differences in perceptions of Superman, but the core elements that never changed were Death of Superman, Return of Superman, Red Sun, and Superman Batman The Search for Kryptonite. Those are all really, really important books to me because they show different perspectives while showing the breakdown of the character and what made the character special.
Have you ever thought about the millions of children who are going to look at you as a Superman, to play with the toys?
I never thought about it. I mean, it's a huge thing to think about, and it's obviously very, very important. But it's not something I'm going to focus on or dwell on because it's a huge responsibility there, and I'm fully aware of it, and I'm going to trust in my own ability to make the right decisions as opposed to focus too much on that enormous responsibility and that pressure.
You had to choose a villain from the Superman mythology. You choose for the second part of the movie?
I had to choose a villain. I don't know, really. I think it'd be very, very interesting. There's so many villains out there. It'd be nice to have some big villains, but I would like something to be touched upon Brainiac. I don't think Brainiac should be introduced fully. I think he should definitely be an awareness and a presence. But I don't think it should be defeating Brainiac or facing Brainiac in the second movie. Doomsday would be a good one, but again, not ready for the second movie. I think there's so many options out there. I just don't know. I would love to look into that some more and talk to David Gore and Zack Snyder and Chris Nolan and really sit down and sort of have fun with talking about who the villains could be.
Thanks very much, Henry.
Thank you very much.